Happy Saturday, March 23rd. Gunnar, Sai, myself, we're checking in after our healing hiatus. We missed you guys. So, sadly, I am physically doing worse as far as symptoms, more so than I was pre-explant. So, the typical symptoms that I'm dealing with on a daily basis, the overwhelming head hum inside of my inner ears, chronic fatigue, dry eyes, dry skin, brittle hair, kind of falling over, vertigo, imbalance issues. The muscle pain that I had in the back of my thighs and in my butt are less than they were, but they have returned. I'm having a lot of the double vision still, especially later in the day, and food sensitivities, and I'm actually having more stomach cramping than I was before. And then I'm having a lot more joint pain right now. So my knees and my hips have been bothering me. And then I journal daily, and I've been having difficulty writing for long periods of time. I actually have to stop and kind of rest my hands and then go back to it. So my hands have been really bothering me. On top of all of those symptoms, I have the chronic headaches that kind of appear from nowhere, some real deep chest pain. The profuse sweating is still happening throughout the day, which was to be expected. That's kind of the body's way to detox. And along with that, I have this horrible body odor, which it's not like a typical body odor. A lot of women have talked about this, where it's more of like it just smells kind of toxic, and my particular stench is it smells kind of like rotten onions and garlic. Like it's just it just doesn't smell pleasant. Graham, my husband, thank goodness, is not smelling it, but I am, and it's overwhelming, and I'm not liking it. So that being said, I am still unable to fully shower because I can't get my upper body wet. I still have sutures in. I will be seeing the doctor next week with that. But what I am doing is at least twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, I am taking a shallow bathtub bath with using a washcloth and a very mild brush to do some kind of mild exfoliating of my skin, since the toxins are trying to come out via sweating. So I'm trying to get those off, obviously, and I sometimes am even bathing 3 and 4 times a day, just if I'm having a more smelly, higher sweat day. So TMI, I'm sure, but just wanted to share what the body goes through in this process. So anyway, so that's sort of where I'm at physically. Been struggling with all of that. Primarily what I do most days is I'm sleeping a lot, or I'm just sitting and being quiet. I'm doing a lot of reading, meditating, praying, just really being very still because I don't have the energy to do much more than that. So, that being said, I am in a good place about it mentally, and that's really important for healing as far as I'm concerned. So I think part of it is because intellectually I do understand why I'm here, and I kind of wanted to share that with all of you. So I've always been a more thin person, and leading up to explant, the more athletic physique that I had, which was more muscle tone, and I had a little more fat on my body, because with muscle there is always a little more fat. That was my body for a long time, but when I started to get more and more sickly leading up to explant surgery, I started losing all my muscle tone because I was unable to exercise, and started losing weight in the process of that. So when I went into surgery, I was even more thin and very depleted, all my autoimmune struggles were pretty much at their max level. So I went into surgery very sickly and very thin. Then after surgery, I had a real tough time getting through what the anesthesia had done to my body. So for 2, 3, 4 days, I didn't eat very well, didn't feel well, and proceeded to lose more weight. So now I am about 100 pounds. So I have barely any muscle on my body whatsoever, no fat. And what that means is basically I have no reserves. So my body just went through a major surgery, and I now need to heal in a lot of ways. I need to heal from the surgery in my chest area, from having the implants removed, and skins and tissues and all the things that have to bounce back from that. My body is trying to find a new normal. So all my systems, my autonomic system, my endocrine system, all these different systems that I've talked about throughout my journey that have been malfunctioning, those are all trying to find a new normal, and they're trying to regulate differently now that the toxins are out of my body, the toxic bags, and they have to figure out how to take care of me differently now. And then also, as I've talked about, my body has now upregulated my own detox function, and that requires a lot of energy and things, energy for the body to have to complete that as well. So all of those things that are going on within my body has no reserves. I have no muscle, which is where we store energy. I have no fat, which is where we store energy. So this is where being underweight and too thin is actually doing me a huge disservice, because my body has nowhere to go to get the energy to do all of these different things that it needs to do to heal. And I understand that, and I'm very accepting of that's why I feel the way I feel, why I have no energy to do anything else besides let my body heal, because there's nothing on my body to help it. So the only way that I can help myself right now is to be quiet, rest. I'm not going to be spending a lot of time on my phone. I try not to watch a lot of TV, not a lot of stimulation. I'm not seeing really any friends, barely any family. Like, I'm just really trying to be still and quiet, because that's what my body needs. And after the healing hiatus that I took, a lot of prayer, a lot of meditation, I am really at peace with where I am right now, and that is huge for me. And I just needed to share that with everybody, that anyone who knows me knows that I am a go, go, go kind of person. And for me to be bedridden pretty much right now is something that the previous version of myself would have been fighting and would have been depressed and crying about it, and just there would have been an internal struggle going on, and that's not going on. And that's a miracle, truly. I am accepting where I'm at right now on my journey. I know that this is where I have to be, and that I don't have a choice in the matter. This is going to be very slow for me because of how I went into my explant surgery. All of that being said, I know that there are some women that are watching my journey that have not explanted yet, and I don't want my journey to scare anyone. I need to really express that all our bodies react differently to life and stress and everything, and my particular journey and how my body is reacting is my own. It's a lot of my genetic makeup, it's how I live my life, it's where I was leading up to explant surgery. So there are some women on this journey that have their implants removed and are back to work 2, 3, 4 weeks, however long it is until they get approval from their doctor to drive and go back to work. They're right back to their lives and feeling better than they ever have in a long time. That is their journey, and thousands of women have had that. I'm not having that because I went in depleted. I went in underweight. My body just is having to fight harder because I don't have the reserves to help it right now, and that's why my journey is so hard. That further explains why I'm having so much pain. I have no fat tissue and I have very little muscle tissue for my toxins to be stored inside of while my body's going through this detox process. So where are my toxins going? Into my joints, into my ligaments, causing me pain. This is my healing journey. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to get well. I firmly believe that I will. But I just don't want my struggles that are a little bit more overwhelming than some to scare anybody, because it doesn't, everybody reacts differently, and it's just how you choose to react to what you're going through. And I'm at peace with it, and that's going to help me to get well even faster. I'm just going to stay in a good frame of mind about it. I do miss my active life, don't get me wrong. I miss my clients. I miss going and doing and all of that. But I know that I'm going to get that back. It's just not now. Right now is a time where I am going to have to take all the time I need to get well. It may be a lot longer than I expected, but I am going to respect myself and love myself enough for the first time in my life to just allow my body to tell me when it's ready. I'm not setting the rules now. My body's going to set the rules. I'm going to listen, and I will continue to listen for the rest of my life because I learned a hard lesson in this. So that's where I'm at right now. I will be checking in from time to time as I continue on my journey, hoping that I can help you guys see that the heal is real. It's going to come for me. It's just going to take some time. And I'm really at peace with where I'm at. I'm going to embrace this time of quiet. So you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll check in again another time. Ta-ta for now. Bye.